It is week one of the fantasy basketball season, and some people would say that it's a little too early to start using my four favorite words in fantasy sports: buy low, sell high. In this episode, we're going to be running down the buy low and sell high candidates for week one of the fantasy basketball season. We believe every NBA fan should play fantasy basketball. So it is week one, so it might be a little too early for some, but that's not how I roll. This is the time of the year where people are so willing to make deals. People are literally not even playing yet. Like, it's been like weeks. People are like, should I trade this guy? Who should I trade? Like, people are just itching to make deals. But you're not just making deals for the sake of making them. You are trying to take advantage of this current climate of fantasy basketball in week one. People are going to panic this week. They're going to have a player that they drafted high, a player that they've been sitting on, get another injury, and then they don't have an IR spot. There's going to be just a ton of different scenarios that could lead to you taking advantage of a great opportunity. So the first player I want to talk about is somebody that I was very interested in drafting, but also I noticed that people are trading him off in some places. From the Miami Heat, Tyler Herro. Now, we know Tyler Herro is going to be out of the office until probably November or even December. So if you make a move to buy low on an injured player like Tyler Herro, you need to make sure that your league actually has the ability for you to stash the player, right? Like, you got to have a couple of IR spots, or if you're on Yahoo, some IL plus spots where you know that you can comfortably stash the player. Now, if you have one IR or IL spot, I wouldn't recommend making a move like this, because what you're going to do is you're going to fill that slot up, and then I guarantee you somebody else is going to get injured. So what you want to do is make sure you have multiple IR or IL spots. If you have two, I think this is a move you can make. Another player that's banged up right now that I think we should consider trying to buy low on is the king himself, LeBron, father of time, James. Now, LeBron James, currently here on hashtag basketball.com's fantasy basketball ADP data, he's dropping, right? So he was going way higher in drafts a couple of weeks ago. Since this news of his sciatica came up, he's now dropped to 21.1. So he's getting picked from the 21.1 position on ESPN, 21.9 on Fantrax. But check this out. For Yahoo, he's going at 32, right? So LeBron James is a player when he comes back, because he's chasing history, right? This is not a player when he comes back, he's going to be like, okay, we're averaging 20 points a game. He's not going to be okay with averaging 6 rebounds a game. He's not going to be okay with 4 assists a game. This is LeBron freaking James. And I think we'll see 25 and 8 and 7 LeBron until he retires. And I think the moment that we see that number kind of decline is the day that he'll say, like, I'm going to pack it up. So when he comes back, he's going to be worth it. Again, very similar to the Herro situation. This is a guy that you want to make sure you have the ability to do this with the IR and IL situation in place. The next player I want to take a look at is another player who's banged up, but will be back for sure. And he dropped in drafts, and then all of a sudden we saw an increase and spike in what was happening with him. And I think, honestly, that where he's going in drafts is not a true reflection of the value that he'll bring to the table this season. And if you could snatch him up now in a buy low, this will pay off for you like you wouldn't believe. From the Cleveland Cavaliers, Darius Garland. As you can see here on hashtag basketball, Darius Garland is currently going at 67.7 on Yahoo. Let that sink in. 78.3 on ESPN, 71.9 on Fantrax, with a blended ADP of 72. This is a guy with top 50, even I would even say top 40 potential if he's really cooking. He could really cook up, yo. Darius Garland is no freaking joke. Now, yes, you won't have him for a few games, few weeks, whatever it is. I don't know his exact timeline off the top of my head, but I know that it's worth the investment if you can buy low on him. This is for the manager in your league who drafted him to stash him, and then this week they have another critical injury, and now they have an IL dilemma. This is where you can swoop in and take advantage of this opportunity. So for me, Darius Garland should not be going this low in drafts. And also, when he's healthy, he is going to blow this ADP number out of the freaking water. So I don't give a shit Sue puppy. What you got to do, get yourself some Darius Garland on your team. The next two players I want to talk about is kind of a combo deal, right? For this buy low. It's two players that we're getting a lot of buzz in the offseason in the fantasy community. Like, people were talking about him in our Discord. People were ringing off in our mock drafts. You even seen these two guys go off the board. But all of a sudden, I'm in 12-team drafts, and these guys are on a waiver wire. Huh? I'm talking about from the Indiana Pacers, Jay Huff and Isaiah Jackson. I'll put it to you like this. One of these two dudes are going to put on for the city like Young Jeezy. I'm just saying. Somebody got to play center, and somebody got to get some minutes. Now, could they be kind of a double dragon situation, a two-headed monster? Or maybe one of them gets the majority of the minutes and kind of runs with the starting position. We don't know yet. It's worth, if they're both available and you can do it, it might be worth stashing both and just waiting. Because people get so caught up in week one, right? Like, I got to get this win, man. Like, I got to get this win. If I don't get this win, then my season is over, man. Yo, take a L in the first week, right? Unconventional wisdom. Take a L in the first week. Stash J Huff and Isaiah Jackson and just wait it out for a week and see what happens. Now, I get it. You want to win every single week. I'm not going to encourage you to tank your week one. But what I'm saying is, people are panicking in week one, and you don't want to be that type of player. Be patient. Don't like drop players that you drafted or ignore value like Jay Huff and Jackson just because you don't want to like let go of that rookie that you drafted. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to make some decisions that are long-term, prediction type plays. You know what I'm saying? So for me, Huff and Jackson are two players that I definitely want to pay attention to. Another thing I want to pay attention to is you winning your freaking fantasy basketball championship this year. Join the Believe in Fantasy community. Absolutely free. All you have to do is go to believeinfantasy.com. That will grant you access to our free Discord community of over 2,000 fantasy basketball sickos. It will also grant you access to our number 8 rising in sports, Substack. We just got rated number 8 in all of the rising in sports newsletter publications. We are pumping out articles every single week. Big shout out to my man Will, who is crushing it right now. So make sure that you get access to that as well. And then being a part of the community, you also will get access to prizes that we do every single week. And once you're, my apologies, every single month, I should say. But in the Discord community, you're getting support not just from me and our analysts like Maddie G, D-Mac, my man Pat Mamba, Antech, our administrator, all of these people helping you out. You also get help from the community, which is priceless, absolutely priceless. Again, visit believeinfantasy.com, absolutely free to join our community. Now that we did the buy lows, I want to get into some sell highs. Now, this player is a player that folks are bath salt and K2 high. This is like the illegal designer highs, right? This is the stuff that most people can't afford, right? Stuff that'll lay you on your back and, you'll be seeing purple and orange ghosts. And I'm just not there. I'm not particularly high on this dude at all. And I've seen people go, and the industry has gone out the window. And I could be wrong about this. That's one thing that I'll say, yo. I've had some great takes over the 5 seasons. It's our 5th season doing this show, yo. I've had some really good takes, and I've hit on a lot of players. But I also had some bad takes, and I was off on players. And I always raise my hand and be like, yo, I'm imperfect. I'm flawed. This is just my opinion, right? This is just my take, right? And this is just my stance on this particular topic. So this player to me is a sell high if I ever seen a freaking sell high. So if you have him on your roster and you believe the hype and you want to ride that hype train, go for it. I'm not mad at it. But if the hype train is uber hype at the beginning of the season, I'm going to be like, how much can I get for this dude? From the Chicago Bulls, I could give you two guesses, but you only need one. Josh the Giddey. And I'll tell you why. Don't throw any rocks at me. I'm just the messenger. I'll tell you. So everybody's high on Josh Giddey because of what he did at the end of the season for a short run. It's the Denny Avdia syndrome too, right? What a player did for a really short period of time, despite anything that he's done consistently throughout the rest of his career. In OKC, in Chicago, whatever, right? So he had a run that was a great run, and I wouldn't knock it. He's also, I think, the youngest player to ever get a triple-double. I don't think Josh Giddey's a bad player. I don't think Josh Giddey's a top 10 points league player, which some folks in the industry have him as high as top 10. I'm not there. I am not there, right? If I'm wrong, I'm okay with that. But the thing about me when it comes to fantasy, when I see people run into fire, right? So like we've never seen this before, right? This is a player that's always been like Josh Giddey's maybe like a top 70, top 60 player at best, maybe top 50. I'm not sure what the number is, but he's never been a top 10 player. A player that's never been a top 10 player ever in the history of fantasy freaking basketball. All of a sudden, we like, this is the dude. And his haircut looked crazy. I'm sorry. I'm not drafting nobody in the top 10 with a haircut like that. And no disrespect to the Giddler. Like, you know, he does a lot of interesting off-court activities, huh? But for me, the fact of the matter is that he has never produced at a top 10 level for a whole season. So maybe I'll go like top 20. I moved him up to, I think, 28 in my rankings. I was like, okay, you pull my arm, I'll put him up at 25, 28. I'm not going to go top 10 on this guy. So for the manager who drafted him, I'm not saying like, when we say sell high, we're not saying like sell him for scraps. I'm saying if you can get an upgrade. So if I could somehow move the Giddler, who right now, let's pull this up. The Giddler right now is, according to hashtag basketball ADP data, he's at 19.9 for ESPN, 24.7 for Fantrax, with a blended ADP of 22.3. Yahoo gave up on him. Look, they were like, we good. This is too crazy. We can't even show that in public. He's going at 7. We have a reputation to uphold. Like, I don't know why his data is not there for Yahoo, but even that is a question mark for me. So if the guy's going at 20, right? Some people drafted him at 10, 12, 13. It's wild work out here, right? So if you drafted him, and let's say he comes out the gate in week 1 and he's going ballistic, and I can trade him to get a player like, let's take a look at a few. If I could trade him and get a player like, I don't know, Cade Cunningham, throw in another piece with the Giddler, like give Tumani Kamara and the Giddler to get Cade Cunningham, I do that trade. Trae Young, if I could throw the Giddler and I don't know, a player like Asar Thompson to bring back Trae Young, I do that trade. So that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying like, hey, the Giddler went for, you know, he's the number, he's actually the number 7 player in fantasy basketball. Robin was wrong. Hey, let me sell high and trade him for Jaylen Brown. No. I'm saying if he overperforms, try to get a first-round player for him. Because I don't know if he's going to be able to sustain that. And honestly, I do not believe the hype. Bookmark this joint. Throw me under the bus if I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. I'm okay with it. But I will never jump out the window and run to the fire because of what somebody did for a short snapshot of time. Show me a year of it, and maybe I'll approve. That's the end of my Giddey rant. Next player we want to talk about is a player that is not so much hype on this player. It's more about this player is really good. But the issue is he don't stay healthy. Right now, he is healthy. If you can make a trade to sell high on him if he does well in his first couple of weeks, then I'd do it. From the Phoenix Suns, Mark Williams. Again, a player I've drafted some. I'm okay with it. If he does well this week, I'm going to try to move him just because he don't play. He don't play. The next player we want to take a look at is an oldie but goodie, but somebody that they're saying looks very good. They're saying he lost a lot of weight, and I don't give a Shih Tzu puppy. He is not the type of player that I'm trying to hold on to for the whole season, unless I'm playing in, of course, a Yahoo high score league. If I'm in an ESPN points league, a traditional Yahoo points league, or if I am in a sleeper lock-in mode area, I would likely try to move on from this guy from the Philadelphia 76ers, Joel Embiid. If he does well early on, sell. Huh? What? Don't hesitate. Aggressive work. Go out and get it. Next up, another player, two players. I'll group them together. These are two rookies that are having an amazing preseason, and people are super high on them. These are two players that I've been trying to target where I can, but they've been going pretty high, especially the one who's really going off. From the Utah Jazz, Ace Bailey, and from the Philadelphia 76ers, VJ Edgecombe. Ace Bailey is going crazy high in drafts. In 12-team leagues, I'm seeing him go at 8 like consistently. And I'm like, dang, that's early for a rookie. But your man is putting up, like, he scored 25 points on KD the other night and was talking junk to him. I love that. That's like, that warms my heart. But for a long season of fantasy, I don't know if he'll be able to sustain that type of value. So if he has a good run earlier on, VJ just had dropped 26 the other night in preseason. When they start the season, if they keep that going, this could be an opportunity to try to sell high on upside and be like, hey, this guy is going to be the rookie of the year. See what you can get back for them. So these are two players that I would be definitely interested in moving, because one thing about rookies is that they're wildly inconsistent. So if they have a really strong start, that's something I would consider moving on from and taking advantage of early in the season. Something you need to take advantage of early in the season is this episode about our week 1 waiver wire targets.